Ombudsman Remulla laban kay Villanueva.
Removed from office, or there was a decision to remove him from office and to disqualify him from public service. Dapat kasi yan, yung decision na yan, pumasok sa COMELEC. Di ba? Dapat gano'n na mangyari dyan. Ang tao nag-commit ng murder, na-convict siya. Yan ba, pwede pa mag-bail yan? O pwede pa ba? Hindi na dapat, di ba? Dapat kulong na yan. Ngayon, pag ganitong grave ang allegation, kahit administrative yan, dapat dyan, ang presumption mo, magbabago na. Wala na presumption of innocence pagka naka-decide ng ombudsman, di ba? Yun ang problema. Dapat dyan, ay magising-gising din tayo na hindi pwedeng upuan ng kaso.
Salin ng mga senador, naglabasan.
The Ombudsman announces the reopening of public access of the statements of assets, liabilities, and net worth of public officials. This decision is guided by a simple principle. The public has a legitimate right to know how those in government acquire and manage their wealth. Transparency in this area is not a slogan. It is a safeguard against corruption and a deterrent to abuse of power.
Remulla magkakaso sa flood control.
Well, we expect this kind of action naman. Because that's the mandate of the ICI. They have been meeting a lot of people and investigating for the past almost 2 months. So the output, I think, is very welcome. So we can work on them as cases already. Target is really by November 25, we will have cases in the Sandigan Bayan already, or filed with the Sandigan Bayan by November 25, hopefully.
Kumusta? I'm the Assessor of Ward Joseph, and welcome to Newsworthy Recap Weekly Edition number 127. We have also covered since last week, so skip to the taxes provided if it piques your interest. Mga senador, naglapag ng SALN.
Sa mga unang pasok ko pa lang sa gobyerno, 24 years ago, meron ng SALN requirement. Nawala lang ito through the past years. Kaya nararapat lang na binalik ito ng ombudsman na mga SALN ay dapat isa sa publiko.
Para sa akin, it's a welcome development because it's easier for those who want to know about their public servants, kung ano yung kanilang kinikita, ano yung kanilang mga negosyo. Kasi kasama rin sa SALN yung negosyo. You have to disclose.
Kasi maliwanag naman yung batas that has to be made available for transparency and accountability. Ito lang nakaraang ilang taon, naghigpit sila, na hindi naman yun ang sinasabi ng batas at hindi yun ang intention.
Naglabas na ng SALN ang 24 na senador in the quest of transparency, pakikisali at reluctant participation ng iilan dahil tumagal ng ilang araw from the very first SALN release. So sino ang pinakamayaman? Sino ang pinakamahirap? At sino ang hindi kapani-paniwala? Ito ang chronological order ng pagsasapubliko ng SALN ng mga senador. Around October 20, 2 senador ang nag-release ng SALN. Risa Ontiveros with 18.9 million pesos, the second lowest in facts, at walang kasamang kamag-anak sa gobyerno.
Inaprubahan nating motion kahapon na manumpa na po kaming I still
Point
have
of
the floor.
order.
I have the floor, Mr.
Point of
President.
order.
I have the floor, Mr. President,
A point
to
of
make
order,
way
Mr. President.
for
Session-
taking of the
session
oath
is
before the
suspended.
presiding officer, Mr. President.
Senate President Tito Soto with 188 million pesos at 8 kamag-anak sa gobyerno.
Totoo nun, mas marami natulungan ng long time show. Sa totoo lang siya. 6 years kesa sa atin dito.
October 22, Robin Hood Padilla, 244 million pesos. 6 ang kasamang kamag-anak sa gobyerno.
Kami ang Duterte kami.
Oo, di ba malinaw naman siguro yun. Kahit sunugin mo ako dito, mangangamoy Rodrigo Roa Duterte ako, di ba?
October 23, we have Sherwin Gatchalian with 89.5 million pesos at 2 kamag-anak. October 24, Kiko Pangilinan, 26.7 million pesos. Walang relatives katulad ni Risa Ontiveros. Noong October 28 naman, naglabasan na ang mga salin. Raffy Tulfo, 1 billion pesos, 8 kamag-anak.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair, excuse me, Mr. Chair, because the last time I was here, I was only allowed 2 questions by you, and yet mga kasamahan ko rito, bilang respeto sa mga kasamahan ko, they were allowed na 1 to sawa. Dapat maging fair ka, Mr. Chair. Pag sinabi mong 2 questions, 2 minutes talaga, you have to stick with it. You're not being fair, Mr. Chair.
I am fair kasi nandito ka sa...
No, kasi nung last time sabi mo sa akin 2 questions lamang. Sabi mo 1 question. Sabi ko, tinitipid mo ako, sabi mo 2 questions. And now, pinapayagan mo kahit na ilang questions. Be fair, Mr. Chair.
Ping Lacson, 244.9 million pesos, 4 na kamag-anak. Mig Zubiri, 631.7 million pesos, 3 kamag-anak. Joel Villanueva, 49.5 million pesos. Kunyara maniniwala ako, 5 kamag-anak.
Mr. President, hindi pangalan ng kalye ang pinapalitan. Kaluluwa ng bayan natin ang pinapalitan. Na for almost 40 years hindi ginagalaw. Na for almost 40 years. Hindi basta-basta pinakikialaman. Bakit? Kaluluwa ng bayan ko. Now you see with your own eyes.
Cheese Escudero, ang pinakamahirap sa lahat, 18.8 million pesos, 100,000 pesos less than Risa Ontiveros, 3 ang kamag-anak. Erwin Tulfo, 497 million pesos, 4 na kamag-anak.
Wala ho tayong pakialam sa batas na sometimes you have to bend the law to be able to please the people. Mas mataas po ang taong bayan sa batas. Am I right, Secretary Remulla?
JV The Good One Ejercito, 137 million pesos, 1 kamag-anak. Bamakino, 86.5 million pesos, 2 kamag-anak. Lito Lapid, 202 million pesos, 6 na kamag-anak.
Rinirespeto ko po at ginagala ko. Kataas-taasan hukuman. Ang boto ko po ay yes. Salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Senator Lapid.
Loren Legarda, 79.2 million pesos, 1 kamag-anak. Pia Cayetano, 128.2 million pesos, 2 kamag-anak. Jinggoy The Bad One Estrada, 221.2 million pesos, 2 kamag-anak.
Senator Estrada.
Mr. Diskaya, sa dami-dami mong binanggit na pangalan na kongresista, silang tanong ko, Senador, meron ba?
Your Honor, wala po.
Sigurado ka?
Safe ka na.
Sigurado po.
Camille Villar, 362 million pesos, 9 na kamag-anak. At huli sa October 28, Mark Villar, 1.2 billion pesos, 9 na kamag-anak sa gobyerno.
Si Mark, tahimik lang.
Nahuli naman ang Duterte 5 or Duterte Block sa pag-release ng kanilang SALN with Bongo, the Bilyonaryo, 32 million pesos net worth, 9 na kamag-anak sa gobyerno.
Bongo intervenes in the 15 billion. Who gave you idea he can intervene? Alam mo, hindi ako mag-ibang pero bilyonaryo to. Sa totoo lang. Punta kayo dapat, tanongin niyo kung sino yan.
Rodante Marcoleta, 51 million pesos, 6 na kamag-anak sa gobyerno.
Mr. Chair, sinabi ko na sa iyo, the interest of this committee is the impartiality, the objectivity. Saan mo kayo magbibigay ng opinion? Why did you choose, for example, Bryce over to this guy?
Why are you so protective to this guy? Why are you so protective?
I am not protecting them. Mabuti sinabi mo yan, Mr. Chair. Pwede ba nating i-record ito?
Alan Peter Cayetano, 110.6 million pesos, 3 kamag-anak.
As a people, no, hindi ako nag-finger point now. As a people, we're all guilty from vote buying to cheating to stealing Tulaying
Bato de la Rosa, 32 million pesos. 6 na kamag-anak.
Yung mga flood control projects, kailan kayo nag-engage ng flood control projects sa DPWH?
Siguro mga 2016 onwards.
Please make sure of your answer. 2016?
Yes po, 2016 onwards po.
2016 onwards?
Yes po.
At panghuli, Amy Marcos, 164 million pesos. Kasama ang 10 kamag-anak sa gobyerno.
Which was the subject of the approved motion yesterday, and again, the subject, which was the subject of the approved motion yesterday, which is an offshoot of a question of privilege, which takes precedence over all motions. So I state my motion, Mr. President, to momentarily suspend any action, whether interpellation.
Ang pinakamayamang senador, unsurprisingly, si Nepo baby Senator Mark Villar, worth 1.2 billion pesos. Anak ng pinakamayamang tao sa Pilipinas. Isipin nyo, tatahimik-tahimik lang siya, tapos kumukubra pala ng mahigit 300,000 pesos. Di ba? Samantalang kasama rin ni Mark si Raffy Tulfo sa Billionaires Club as he filed jointly with his wife Jocelyn na isa ring ACT-CIS representative sa Kongreso. Ang top 2 naman sa pinakamahirap ng mga senador ay sina Senadora Risa Ontiveros with around 18.98 million pesos, which makes sense dahil nga patay na yung kanyang asawa at wala siyang kamag-anak na elected official. Pero isa sa mga pinagkakataka ng mga netizens ay ang pinakamahirap, si dating Senate President Cheese Escudero na nalamangan ni Risa ng 150,000 pesos coming in at around 18.84 million pesos. Ang sasabihin mo siguro katulad ni Kiko Pangilinan at Sharon Cuneta, may prenup or may prenuptial agreement si Heart and Cheese Escudero, to which I do not dispute. Talagang hiwalay ang pera nila. Pero nahalungkat ang post ni Cheese kung saan with some sources saying na niregaluhan ni Cheese Escudero kamakailan lamang ang kanyang sweetheart ng $1 million na singsing o ring para sa kanyang 39th birthday. Now, this is more general sa lahat, basically. In my personal opinion, parang may engineering na nangyari sa SALN ng iilan sa mga senador. Lalo na at ang SALN version na ito ay na-declare nung, actually depends, merong 2024, may 2025, may 2022, may 2020. So, mahirap talagang i-ascertain kung gaano ba talaga kalaki yung tinaas ng kanilang mga net worth, especially after holding the office. Isa pa, si Senator Bongo, according to his SALN kasi, 32 million pesos ang kwarta niya. Pero hindi ba ang sabi ni P. Dutz dati, bilyonaryo yung pamilya ni Go, bilyonaryo si Go?
We do not get any money. We are not interested in that. Para sa alaman ninyo, you can stop your suspicious mind from roaming somewhere else. I am not surprised that your articles are also fake. Bongo intervenes in the 15 billion. Who gave you idea he can intervene? Alam mo, hindi ako mag-ibang pero bilyonaryo to. Sa totoo lang. Putakin dapat, tanongin niyo kung sino yan. Uy, ito mga ganito. It seems to appear na intervening because of what money? The things that you are telling it never happened.
Bakit kaya? Dahil ba sa CLTG? Anong sagot mo, Mr. Christopher Lawrence Tigo? Wait, ICI, magkakasuhan na. Villanueva, ligtas pa ba?
Well, we expect this kind of action naman. Because that's the mandate of the ICI. They have been meeting a lot of people and investigating for the past almost 2 months. So the output, I think, is very welcome. So we can work on them as cases already. Target is really by November 25, we will have cases in the Sandigan Bayan already, or filed with the Sandigan Bayan. By November 25, hopefully.
Ayan ang sinabi ni Ombudsman Remulla regarding the findings submitted by the Independent Commission for Infrastructure para sa 6 na nirekomendang kakasuhan. Those being the embattled former DPWH Undersecretary Robert Bernardo.
Maynard Ngu and I are close friends, and we go years back. He is also a close friend and campaign contributor of Senator Chis Escudero. Senator Revilla asked for a commitment, which I suggested. Then he approved at 25% of the total amount of the projects indicated in the list. Sometime in the year 2024, Carlin Villa, a staff of trusted confidant of Senator Binay, called me and asked for a commitment which was set at 15% of the total amount of the projects indicated in the list. Alcantara collected 15% commitment, or about 37 million, which was turned over to me, and which I then delivered to Senator Binay at a house in Quezon City. Yusek Olaivar personally called me for a meeting to discuss about unprogrammed appropriations, supposedly for the office of the Executive Secretary. In the said meeting, he requested me to submit a list of projects. After the meeting, I asked Bulacan First DEO to prepare a list of projects for funding. Thereafter, Engineer Alcantara submitted a list of projects worth 2.85 billion.
Senator Joel Villanueva.
Mr. President, hindi pangalan ng kalye ang pinapalitan. Kaluluwa ng bayan natin ang pinapalitan. Na for almost 40 years, hindi ginagalaw. Na for almost 40 years, hindi basta-basta pinakikialaman. Bakit? Kaluluwa ng bayan ko. Now you see with your own eyes.
Senator Jinggoy Estrada.
Senator Estrada. Mr. Diskaya, sa dami-dami mong binanggit na pangalan na kongresista, silang tanong ko, Senador, meron ba?
Your Honor, wala po.
Sigurado ka? Safe ka na?
Sigurado po.
Resigned ako Bicol Party List Representative at dating House Committee on Appropriations Chairperson Zaldico.
Mr. Speaker, I move to declare vacant the position of Chairperson of the Committee on Appropriations.
There's a motion. The Chair hears no objection. Said motion is carried. Session suspended.
Chief Audit Commissioner Mario Lipana.
Pero wag na rin po tayo magluhan. Huwag kayong magmamalaki sa akin na malakas kayo kay GOA Commissioner Lipana. Gagawin natin kung ano ang tama sa lungsod ng Pasig. Huwag kayong magmamalaki sa akin na malakas kayo kay GOA Commissioner Lipana.
At former 2nd District Caloocan Representative Mitch Kahayon Ud.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, it is meant for intelligent fund, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, bakit may intelligence funds po ang MMDA?
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleague, ang Metro Manila Development po ay part ng MNAT na kung saan NTL FCAC. Opo, bahagi po ang Metro Manila Development Authority.
Nirekomenda ng ICI ang mga kasong plunder sa kanila dahil sa mga sistema ng kickbacks, obligations at parking fees na nagsilip pa na at na-uncover matapos ang preliminary investigation o interim release report ng ICI. Pero one thing sparks most interest. Bakit sila lang? Bakit wala si the man who cannot be named? The former House Speaker Bonjing Tambaloslos Martin Romualdez. Matatandaan humarap si Martin Romualdez sa ICI pero isang beses lang yung mga nasunod na appearance niya.
Determine the truth and to give all the facts and information. I will be here to help in any way to speed up the resolution of the fact-finding investigation of the ICI.
So yung si Representative ni-request niyang i-postpone dahil nga sa health issues. Baka kasi magkaroon na ng neck braces sa susunod na hearing at investigation. O kaya, wheelchair naman, di ba? Or crutches para, you still look tough while also being disabled. Or differently abled. Nawang sinasabi naman kasi na bakit hindi si Romualdez ang kasama sa mga finailan ng kaso, sinabi ng Diskaya kasama si Zaldico at Romualdez. Tapos, next time sinabi nila, hindi naman talaga nila nakausap ng direkta sila Romualdez at Zaldico. They just, some people use their names at ang kanilang opisina to get some kickbacks or again, parte sa mga substandard ghost flood control projects.
Karamihan sa mga kawani ng DPWH na nabanggit sa itaas ay paulit-ulit na binabanggit ang delivery ng pera ay para sa kaisaldi ko na dapat at least 25%. Si Kong Marvin Rillo naman ay ilang beses na binabanggit ang pangalan ni Speaker Martin Romualdez bilang kanyang malapit na kaibigan.
Ang sabi naman ni Ombudsman Jesus Crispin Remulla, magfa-file siya ng mga complaints laban sa mga sangkot sa flood control project anomalies sa mga findings na nakuha sa Bulacan at Oriental Mindoro. Overrated din daw kasi ang plunder. Ang ifa-file niya raw is kaso ng malversation of public funds, bribery at falsification. Walang plunder. Maybe graft pero definitely walang plunder cases na ilalaban. Kasi nga, mahirap patunayan ang plunder cases kasi walang nakukulong. Have we not learned from PDAF scam or Kuratong Balileng or whatever?
And yung mga charges po, ano-ano po kayo?
Corruption. Corruption related. Bribery, indirect bribery, malversation, falsification. Yan, maraming ano dito. Maraming involved dito sa mga kaso nito. Kasi nga, ang iniisip lang namin, kung sasama namin, pati yung mga, kasi may kasabihan dito, may sinasabi nga, hanggang janitor daw ng district office kumukuha ng pera eh. Plunder is overrated. Through all these years, I think there's only been one conviction for plunder. That's why we are looking at other crimes that are easier to prove. Because plunder nga is overrated. It is it's full of holes already. All the jurisprudence about plunder has just explained that it's very hard to pass the test.
Now, in another but also same news, gusto buhay ni Ombudsman Remulla yung dismissal case ni Senator Joel Villanueva dahil sa pork barrel scam na in-order ni former Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales noong 2016 dahil hinatulan niyang guilty of grave misconduct, serious dishonesty, and conduct prejudicial to the interest of service.
Removed from office, or there was a decision to remove him from office and to disqualify him from public service. Dapat kasi yan, yung decision na yan, pumasok sa COMELEC. Di ba? Dapat gano'n na mangyari dyan. Ang tao nag-commit ng murder, na-convict siya. Yung ba, pwede pa mag-bail yan? O pwede pa ba? Hindi na dapat, di ba? Dapat kulong na yan. Ngayon, pag ganitong grave ang allegation, kahit administrative yan, dapat dyan, ang presumption mo, magbabago na. Wala na presumption of innocence pagka naka-decide ng ombudsman, di ba? Yun ang problema. Dapat dyan, ay magising-gising din tayo na hindi pwedeng upuan ng kaso.
Kaso nagulat si Remulla kasi nag-drop agad ng post si Joel Villanueva. Ang sabi ni Joel, na-reverse na yung desisyon ni Conchita Carpio Morales noong 2019 pa.
We were surprised by the decision. Lumabas lang siya nung sinabi ko yung gagawin ko sa discount na siya. So, it's a surprise secret decision. Nobody was raising the issue before. Someone will never get quiet throughout the years. Congressman Martinez never spoke about it. Iba parang secret decision siya. Alam niyo ba yun? Well, last point, it's something that everybody thinks it is still valid, but it turned out to be not valid anymore due to a secret decision. Dapat kasi, hindi naman pag-publish yan, hindi yung labas, nobody know about it. Kahit sa society, hindi nila alam yan.
Hindi kasi sinunod ng Kongreso, both leaders of the House at Senate, sa pagpapatanggal ng most of the people na sangkot sa PDAF o pork barrel scam, which included Gringo Honasan and Joel Villanueva for the House.
But in 2016, when you ordered his dismissal, the Senate refused. And should the Senate have followed?
Well, they should have. Otherwise, everybody wants to be a senator, and because of any infraction of the law that you commit, you will still remain senator.
The Ombudsman ordered a senator's dismissal. Hindi sumunod ang Senado as a body. They all cooperated as an institution. Anong naging epekto noon sa atin?
well, we are the laughing stock of other countries because we don't know how to enforce our law. We don't know how to implement the decisions that are spawned from legal proceedings.
So bakit hindi natin alam na naabsuelto pala si Joel? Internal memo lang ba talaga yon? And bakit hindi pinagkalandakan ni Villanueva nung sinabihan kang absuelto ka na or absuelto ka na sa mga kasong kinakaharap mo, which would be something you would want to profess everywhere kasi nga again, maraming mag-iisip. Meron bang backroom dealing na ginawa? Meron bang backroom dealing na nangyari? Bakit hindi mo sinabi? Bakit tahimik nila itong ginawa? Bakit hindi alam ng even ombudsman natin ngayon? Kasi kung inosente ka nga naman, you will scream to the top of the world ang pagka-absuelto mo. Pero hindi mo ginawa yon. Bakit? Kasi ayaw mong masilip yon ng tao? Ayaw masilip ng media kung anong nangyari? Na yung dismissal order mo okay na pala, hindi na pala kailangan. Tapos magugulat ka na lang. Dismissed pala. Ang sabi kasi ni dating Supreme Court Justice Carpio, kung sikreto at hindi nakakapag-appeal yung nag-file ng kaso laban sa kanila, pwede niya pang buhayin dahil sa due process. And that's part of the thing that really screams na even if na-reverse yung decision mo, pwedeng i-appeal yon. And if hindi nalaman nung nag-file ng kaso laban kay Villanueva na absuelto na pala siya, pwedeng buhayin ni Remulla yon basta mag-file lang ng motion for reconsideration or appeal yung nagkaso kay Villanueva.
I think the factual situation should be clarified. When you promulgate a decision, you have to attach your decision to the rollo. Every case has a rollo. And if it is not attached to the rollo, then it is not really promulgated. It's still a draft. So it must be signed and promulgated properly, attached to the rollo. The rollo is open to the public. The media can consult. It's a very high profile case. They should have followed up and find out whether the rollo contains a reconsideration of the decision. If it is not attached to the rollo, I believe it's not valid. It's not properly promulgated.
At yan po po ng Louis Serworthy Recap Weekly Edition for roughly the 5th week of October 2025. Mag-suggest some more topics and our corrections to the balitas if we feel ambassador them in any way. Salamat sa nanonood mga brother, yung like, share, socials and watches that will link down below. So susumuli of course, paalam.